Dude, I was hoping I saw the chief right now and I would just trip on myself and fall. Oh, hey, chief.
Howdy, Maxwell. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We have had a lot of people spending time at MRPD today. Is there something going on there?
A lot of vaffing cars. I think we just got done. As of right now, there's like 4 or 5 cars that are outside from being vaffed. I think multiple officers were working on them. As far as earlier, I'm unsure. Like, there's people in the garage right now working on vaffing cars, and we finished a Polito bank robbery, got a 95. Yeah, I think people are just unwinding. That's probably what's happening right now. But
I've
earlier,
just seen
I'm unsure.
A lot of people spending a lot of time at MRPD lately, and if they're busy, you know, of course they're busy.
Yeah, I think people after a big call like the bank, kind of like while they're doing their paperwork, they're winding down, and if it's if they're doubled up or sometimes even tripled up, it just seems like there's more people.
Makes sense. Fair enough.
So yeah, I know. I was just down there with Jared. We had a bike to VAF. There was a car to VAF. We had 2 vehicles from the bank, and then there was another situation where there was 2 or 3 other cars getting VAFed as well from another call. So I think it just all ended at the same time. So a lot of people were down there just now.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You also know if we happen to have any EMPs in evidence anywhere?
We should. Let me check with Doc, because I believe he was testing one with a Justice a while back. I don't know if it would still be good though. Like, I don't know if the battery runs out or,
Yeah.
Offhand, I don't know, but let me think. I might be able to ask somebody and see if they're familiar with a recent incident with one.
Sounds good. Keep your eye out for one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a way to populate the charge? Let me look for the search.
What charge would it go under though?
I thought there was a charge for that now. Actually, it wouldn't be able to populate our charge. Shit. I think there's something with I'm pretty sure there is a charge now for having that. It is criminal use of an EMP launcher. Criminal possession of an EMP launcher. Yeah.
Okay, I do see a couple reports that come up with that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, charges. Okay, there you go. So they might have them if they have the possession charge, probably be in there.
Okay. Who got the possession charge for it? Ling Buddha. He has a warrant. Is that for this incident?
I'm not sure.
Toledo bank robbery. Yeah, it is for this incident. So I don't want to touch it if it's still evidence of a case. I just we had a situation this morning with bank truck robbery where we had 12 individual vehicles involved.
That shot fired up
throughout the chase.
Oh, and they had that?
77.
No, they did not have that. I'm saying, what if we had that? Instead of shooting them, what if we had something that disabled the vehicle?
Oh.
To some extent.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
I'm just trying to think of a way to approach this where we're not having to shoot people over fleeing. That
right?
That makes things heavily escalated.
Yeah, we had like they swapped to the same bike like 4 times from this bank robbery. It was, and we can't keep up with these bikes, but they happened to crash out. That's the only reason we got one of the 95s, had a broken leg, and they couldn't make it far enough before we caught up to them. Yeah, but they used the same bike 4 times. Nobody shot the tire out, because it's a bike, so you don't want to.
I'm just not a fan. I understand that's what was going on. I'm just not a fan of opening fire.
I've not really seen it lately, to be honest. I think only a few officers may be called to do that, and I personally have not.
I haven't either. Thankfully, I saw it a few times on my first week. I think 3 times, and I haven't seen it since. However, I want to get rid of that completely, but there needs to be something in place to.
Oh,
here you are.
Are they still in court? Jared, do you want to go in there for a minute? I'll be in a minute. Okay, they're deliberating. Why is my shit not working?
Oh.
So we just need, I want to find something that's non-lethal that we
Mm-hmm.
can somehow combat it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how long it disables vehicles for. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, when I heard these things were being used, you know, I figured we'd never have a use for them because they're just not something you see police departments with. You know, however,
Right.
after doing some thinking about it, that's the only thing I can think. You know, there are some interesting devices out there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that I've seen at trade shows and whatnot here and there, but I don't think
It'd be
it'd be
cool
as successful.
if it was like a TRT, like, you know, SWAT type of certification to even be able to use it.
Yeah, I don't know what it would fall under, how we do it.
Mhm.
It depends how effective it is, range on it. You know, it
Mhm.
depends on a lot of things.
Peter said to shoot tires.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
and
know.
that's I can't guarantee it's coming. I haven't you know, checked with any of our equipment providers, but I'm just trying to brainstorm anything. Do you have anything in mind that might be able to combat this without having to use lethal force?
The swaps?
The shots fired in Great
I mean, yeah,
There was a
No.
bunch of cars
Swaps or
crashed out
2-hour
here.
long chases, you know, where we have 10,
Looks like
15
a whole
units
bunch
on
of
it.
vehicles exploded.
I mean, you know, months and months ago, we used to not pursue after a certain time. But
That's what happened today. They called it off after an hour and 45 minutes with no suspects in custody.
oh, I would have
And
called it before that, but you know,
6 new vehicles involved, and
that's
right,
crazy.
there needs to be a line drawn.
There has to be.
by us.
Yeah.
There. But again, I don't think shooting's a good route.
What
to
was
take,
the primary
although
call for?
It's a bank truck.
Hour and 45 minutes is kind of crazy.
And I mean, we had 6 interference, and we had something like 15 units on.
No, I would have.
No, we had at most we had 4 or 5 vehicles involved, but we had 12 individual vehicles involved with interfering.
Yeah, I would have just called
12
it.
different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See, I don't like calling it off.
I don't. Yeah,
you know,
but
I'm not saying go after every vehicle, but we should be pursuing. You know, focus our forces on one vehicle if we have to. We even okayed high speed pits throughout it. It was a mess.
To be fair, entire PD was crashing out about never being able to catch super tuned up cars. This I don't think
EMP.
PD
Did you
had
have
all
any
that.
other ideas potentially?
I'm gonna be honest. I think an hour and 45 minutes is crazy. I don't know how many officers were on that, but if you're going almost 2 hours pursuing one call and having how many officers? 8 plus?
Probably 12, 15 on this one.
Yeah. So you're telling me 15 officers, 2 hours. We're neglecting everybody else in the community.
Horrible. Yeah. I mean, I understand it's a big call. I understand it taking an hour maybe.
So the first time, okay, we call it off early, whatever. But if this is like the same crew and they're continuously doing that, then obviously we would want to do something to combat that. That's a large number of interference vehicles. And those calls are very they can turn so quickly into violent, right?
Absolutely.
We've pulled up to bank trucks and they've opened fire on us.
Yep. To be fair, this one was definitely not that case. They had quite a lot of information, and it prolonged the initial engagement, the initial chase. It was more of a conversation for 20 minutes while we are trying to sort things out. But
and the whole reason the shooting out tires popped up was because of exactly what you experienced this morning. That's why the talk of shooting tires out, because of how many swaps or interference. If you have a primary suspect and they swap cars 3 times, there's not really a number, but depending the situation, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever, somebody will call to shoot the tires out. I know King was happy to hear about that, just because in shift 3 going into 1 that he works, they deal with this all the time, and he's like, we're just chasing them for hours and they just keep swapping supercars. And there's no way to combat it.
Yeah, and that's again why I keep leaning on on EMP, but more or less
right.
check and see if anybody else has any
No,
idea.
I mean
I
they
understand
came up with
the
the
need.
shooting tires. And that's between Peters and Ventura with BCSO. And then they brought it to us. And then we brought it to King and said, hey, and he was thrilled. But again, I obviously shooting at them. Like we have shot at them and they're like, oh, they're shooting at us. And we're hollering, we're shooting, they're going for tires so that they know we are shooting your tires. So I think that they're learning that. We have, since it's been a thing, I have not seen anybody return fire on us. I think that officers are making it clear that they're taking their tires out. Again, it's not something I see all the time, and I have not really seen anybody call it more so like, you know, King, Peters. What I call, if somebody asked, depending on the situation, that hour and 45-minute chase. If it was just interference and not constant swapping, that's different, right? You're not going to shoot out interference tires. But if it's a suspect hopping in 4 or 5 different cars, I probably would call too.